Hey guys, welcome back to the Land of the Pharaohs. I'm Sajuuk and we're heading into the final campaign of Pharaoh, not counting Cleopatra, the new kingdom. There's only 6 missions in it, but they're all very difficult. Strange new enemies with a terrifying super weapon bring the Middle Kingdom to its end and prepare the way for the magnificent new kingdom to follow. Let us begin the final dynasty.
The splendor of our cities illuminates the entire world. And like moths to the flame, usurpers come to challenge our sovereignty, tearing Egypt apart. For a new weapon of war has emerged, and it has swept over Egypt like a storm in the desert.
Okay, so that little briefing basically says we have chariots, but we have been attacked. We are in the second intermediate period. We've got 2 missions here, obviously military, peaceful. We've got here Khmun, or Hermopolis, which is vengeance. That's the military mission which we'll be doing in this part. Or we've got Soti, or Lycopolis, for inspiration. Let us head to Khmun and see what challenge we have to find there.
Most powerful Pharaoh, Egypt cries out for your help. The menacing Hyksos have invaded our land and have set up their own capital at Rawati. From Rawati, they have disrupted many of our trade routes, choking off needed supplies. We must stop their conquest before it is too late. If it pleases you, great Pharaoh, we should reclaim the city at Khmun, which has been violated by these foul invaders. We should also build a strong army and navy, for we may need to supply troops and arms to our compatriots in the north, especially at Rawati, to help repel the Hyksos incursion. They will look to you, child of Ra, for support. But now, we too have a new weapon. Our wise military leaders have become proficient in the use of the dreaded chariot, and we shall turn it back upon our enemies and drive them before us. Once we drive the troublesome Hyksos out, our military advisors recommend building a fort in Sinai at Sajuuk to prevent further invasions from the east. If only our trouble was limited to the north. Reports from our southern border show that the Nubians are once again taking advantage of a distracted Egypt. They have reclaimed the southern cities of Icon and Het. While these lost cities are cause for concern, we must first oust the Hyksos before we can turn our attention southward. These Hyksos are most unholy invaders. We have just discovered that they have defiled the pyramid here in Khmun. They have stolen from the pyramid all the burial provisions that the mighty Pharaoh interred here needs in the field of reeds. We should provide a new supply of grave goods so that the Pharaoh buried here can enjoy life everlasting.
Indeed he will. We will give him some grave goods, don't worry. So Egypt reclaimed at Khmun. We've got 6,000 people, prosperity 50, kingdom 75. Culture rate is quite high, but the monument, it sounds as if the monument's already built. So all we need to do is drive the Hyksos from our country. We're continuing on hard mode. Let's head to the city. Slow time down and pause and have a look around. So there's the monument right there. It's already built. It's a brick pyramid. So all we have to do is get these resources and put them in there. We don't start with a lot of money, and there. Oh, that's actually quite fertile meadowland. There's a lot of it. Quite a normal climate. It's not a very wide map. Not much floodplain. There's quite a lot of meadowland though. There is so much here that I don't think we're going to really need to use this. Chickpeas, barley, flax. So we can make beer and linen. No clay, but we can probably import some of those resources. Ra, Seth is most likely the patron. No, Ra is, and no Osiris, which means these floodplains are pretty rubbish. Because we can't improve their yield, so it's better to just use the meadowland on this. Look at that, we've got a chariot maker, so we get to build that. They require wood, which you have to import on this map, so we're not going to do that here. Let's have a look at trade. Let me just get the music back first before we do anything. I don't think we're getting music. Apparently no music. No, no music. Okay, fine. So we're here at Khmun. Nothing to excuse me. Nothing to the south. Het and Ikem will be taken at some point. So we've got here Idjatoy, which buys beer. They sell us straw and pottery. Pottery and papyrus we will need to evolve our housing. We don't need limestone, but we won't need straw either. So they do buy quite a bit of beer. That's actually a lot of beer. We can sell 6,500 flasks of beer to 2 trade routes. Not too bad. We can import pottery and papyrus from there. So yeah, I think we're going to just focus on beer. That is pretty much the only thing we can produce. Sharuhen over here sells clay, barley and copper. We can import clay and we'll just make pottery ourselves so we're not exporting it. Tyre, 1250 demons to get incense and wood. That's very expensive. I think Pwenet is down here as well, which sells incense as well. But we're not going to worry about Pwenet. We're going to need to trade with Tyre anyway to import wood. Actually, I don't think we need wood. No, we don't. But I will open up this trade route to get... I mean, I might not even need that trade route. It's a toss-up between either importing from Tyre or Pwenet, basically. There's the music, finally. So basically our main export is beer. That is all we can produce for export. We can't export linen. Yeah. So I'm going to have to open up trade with Mennefer pretty immediately and set up beer for our exports. That's all we have. We have no clay pit, we don't have clay pits, gold mines. We've got plainstone coins which we don't have a use for. The plainstone is only over there. Now he said that we need to build up a large navy. Unfortunately there's not much coastline here. There's only like what, 1, 2, 3 spaces there and a space over there. And can I put... No, so I have to put a crossing in that corner. 3 warships is all we can get. I don't think that's a very big navy, but we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to go and set up a housing block right here, and I'll come back in once I've set it up along with the beer industry, because that's all we can do for exports on this one. It's a one export economy. Okay, so just for a bit of background information, I tried this mission and failed. Now, what happened was I managed to do okay up until the point where we were getting invaded by the Hyksos. And what happened was I ended up in a massive amount of debt, like 5,000. Couldn't build anything, couldn't send troop requests off timely, and I just couldn't get out of debt. I just had no way of making money. I had 2 debt anniversaries. Kingdom rating was down to near 0, so I pretty much gave up. I could not get out of debt because I could not make enough beer. So what I'm going to do is just focus exclusively on beer. I'm not going to try to evolve the people. I'm not going to give them anything other than a place to live and some water and basics. I'm not going to try to feed the city. There's no point because it's a waste of workers. We need to focus on just making absolute shit tons of beer. One thing to note is that Idjatoy starts with 2 shields on it. It then goes up to 3, which you won't notice unless you open the trade route. There's a trade request there to Idjatoy which requires waterborne forces, which requires you to open up trade with Tyre, otherwise you can't defend Idjatoy. Tyre is extremely expensive. The wood is also very expensive. It's like 275. 1 warship on its own doesn't cut it. I tried 1 warship, it just died, which is unusual. And it then reduces it. Idjatoy will then reduce its trade quantity back to 2 again. I'm not too sure what makes it go up to 3 though. I'm not too sure, but we need to just focus exclusively on this beer export. It's what's going to keep us going. It is all we have. We don't have gems or anything else that we could use to make money. I mean, we do have bricks as an export if I do import-export, but that's a waste. I mean, how much does it cost? Clay is 38. Straw is 31, so that's 59 for each bit. 1 straw makes 4 bricks. So it wouldn't really pay for that, to be honest. So we're not going to do that. I might do that later, but we're not going to do that now. But I know for a fact that we need to get our military going very quickly, and we're going to have to focus on this beer industry. We've got very little time. We've got basically 1 year until Roarty starts asking for troops. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this run, and we're going to come back in near the end of the year. Hopefully we'll have made plenty of beer, and we'll start to make some money. Okay, so here's the city. We've got pretty much all the houses spammed down. I've also gone ahead and just put down as many farms as I can, just to sap up unemployment, because it is getting a little out of control. Also put down some more breweries. Now, one mistake that I made is that I ended up building a recruiter and an academy. Now, the academy is the exact same value as building a fort. So what I've done is I've negated the idea of putting down an academy, and I've just built 2 forts straight away. Now that has taken up the exact same amount of funds as it would have taken if we were to put down the academy in 1 fort. So I'm going to get 2 lots of troops and probably do a lot better on distant battles. We're just going to focus on training as much troops as we can. We're going to go with quantity rather than skill this time, because I think that'll help. Now we are making beer. Not enough to start selling it yet, but we are making beer. We can sell that off. Let's just check Age of Toy. They've not gone up yet, but we have more than enough barley farms here that we should be able to produce more than enough. Just extend that road a little bit. You should be able to get up there, touch those houses and get access to employment. We've got pretty much all the barley we need. We've got 10 barley farms, which should staff all of this. Now they're producing it obviously at a low yield, so that should be enough. Yeah, we can't do anything. We can't go into any other industry. What's the gods like? They're angry, which is not very useful. Let's spend the remaining money to make them happy, I think. We'll just do a few shrines. What I can do is, just because we've got so much unemployment, I am going to just cut off a few of these little tent houses just in the centre there now. How much is that affected by? Okay, that helps. Okay, so we're going to get 2 full forts of archers, not academy trained, but we can't afford that. It is just too expensive. I was going for more skill rather than quantity, so I think this time we should go with quantity rather than skill and see how well we do. Now, we haven't made any money. We're going to be making money soon, but I need to get as much beer as I can. I want to be selling. There's only 2 traders to come from in the fair, so I want to be able to sell off 1,600 on each trade people that come through trade caravans. And we should be fine. Now we're going to produce a bit more barley here because we're getting it now, which is good. As a farm, it's 91% fertile, which is actually very useful. Yeah, most of these, I mean, this is like ridiculous. It's like 98% fertility on much of this land. So we're going to produce lots of commodities. Some of this barley will get moved down here onto the less fertile stuff, so that the chickpeas can be in the middle. So yeah, I'll just come back in when we get that troop request from Rowarty. Okay, I was just going to come back in and talk about how we're going to start selling beer, but the game's given us the notice that we need to send off troops in 9 months. Alert your soldiers for the Egyptian armies engaged in combat at the distant city of Rowarty requires you to dispatch reinforcements there. 9 months, and we've run out of money. We've got quite a bit, but we're going to start selling. We've got loads of barley being made. Small force, land forces. Now I'm going to let that run on as long as I can let it, because for some reason, if I let this last for as long as I can, the events that will be triggered if we succeed seem to take a lot longer to fire, which is weird. But I'm going to let this run down to the 8 months. Hopefully we let it run on for as long as I can before it expires, and I'll send them at just the last minute and we should be fine. So I'll come back in when we're ready to send off 2 full forts of archers. Okay, so the mission is pretty hairy, as you can expect. Let's just have a look at this request. It's saying 1 month. Now, it's been sat like that for the best part of the remaining part of this year. So, 1 month means a long time, apparently. Now, I have checked, and I know that that event's going to expire at the end of the next January year. So, we've got 2 months, and then we'll be told we must send troops. If we don't send it in that month, then it will expire. Now, we are still training up these archers. Now, hopefully we can fill up the majority of this fort by that expiry time. We have more than enough beer being produced. In fact, we're getting so much beer production that we're actually short on barley. Workers rather, which means we can't... What I'm going to do is, once this harvest has come in, I'm going to disable all of the barley farms because we don't need them. And we should be able to make enough beer from what we've got. Because they sell out the whole thing very quickly, so... There we go, we've got a warship. I'm going to need 3 of them to handle the distant battle over it. They're going right through, which is fine. That allows it to build up more beer. So yeah, we've got 12. Hopefully we can get another couple of archers. That's 13 archers. Hopefully we can fill up that fort by the end of the requirement. Nope, I don't think we will. So I'm going to go and dispatch these troops, and I'll come back in if they succeed. Oh, would you look at that? The troops have succeeded. They didn't take too long, but we should be waiting around a long time before anything happens. Let's just see. We lost 4 out of there and a couple out of here. So not too bad, they succeeded. Quantity over quality in this case. We are producing more than enough beer to keep ourselves in the black this time. Unlike before where we were struggling heavily to make money. Put down these walls and towers just for later, but it has affected the desirability. Now I have worked out, but I'm going to have to move this, I'm going to have to extend this down 1 tile, so it's in this line, and this over by 2 tiles to get the exact block that I want. Now that's fine because we're going to have the money to do that later. We're not stooped in shit tons of debt either. We can actually use this time to put down another warship. In fact, actually let's not. Let's just put down another archer's fort. We just need archers like crazy. Because I know that the Hyksos are strong, and I don't think 4 towers on its own will help. But I do know that we can get enough money out of men effort anyway. We sold 1600, we can sell probably another 1600 very soon when they come back through. We're going to sell 800, maybe a bit more, we'll see. So yeah, I'll just come back in if anything of interest happens. The mission's not that difficult, I was just making it more difficult. There's I can fall into its enemies. Okay, so the Hyksos are approaching now. It's taken them a whole year. I'm not sure why waiting to the absolute last minute to dispatch troops to Roarte causes this to be taking so long to appear. But never mind, we're going to have troops arriving in 9 months. Now the Hyksos are actually the strongest enemy in the game, which is not too good. They're going to be ripping us apart, literally. But that's why I have 5 towers over here. We have loads of money. We're not going to be producing much more beer though. Now I do hope that the amount of money that we have will last us quite a bit. Because what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to start, well, first of all I'm going to have to fix this block because it's a mess, but we can delete these inner houses just to get rid of them because we don't need them now. And my focus is going to be moving this block out into the full shape it's going to be. I have extended this length by 1 to provide all the required space. We can just delete all those houses too, there we go. And that should colour a bit. There we go. And if I need to, I can just put down a warship over there and that'll help a bit more. Because these are, what, 50 workers, so that's okay. So yeah, hopefully we can fill out the 2 forts completely by, the 3 forts completely by that invasion. And I'll come back in when we're near it. Okay, so that Hyksos invasion is almost here. Now, they are damn fuckers. That's all I have to say. They are really annoying. I went through that battle, and the charioteers just destroyed my entire archer companies, and then when they ran out of targets, they just ran all the way down the city away from the towers, which would have killed them quicker, and then just sort of harassed down here, which was not very useful. Because then they just got frightened and I couldn't move them, so they were just sort of going to get stuck down here and destroy everything around here, which we don't want. So let's just set everyone up. We're going to put you guys... We're going to have 1 company right there, or thereabouts, and then we're going to have 2 companies which are sort of like acting like a box, almost. Boxing them in a bit. I think that might work, but the problem is the charioteers run straight in, they attack my archers, and the towers don't actually attack the charioteers at all, which screws up everything because then I can't actually win when that happens. I'm actually just going to, you know what, just come here, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to leave these guys here to thingy because I can't use them maybe to move the charioteers. If they start charging down here again, then I will use this group of archers to maneuver them a little bit. So speed this up. Hyksos time is going to be here in 1 month better conquest. I hope we can get through it a bit better than we did last time because the last time was just terrible. We've only got 900, which is unfortunate. Hopefully we can make some money soon. But that'll have to wait. I think we've got a lot of unemployment, which is okay. So yeah, we're just going to... I also put down some chickpea farms, so I've turned them off for now because there's no point in them right at this very minute. Here's the attack. Let's try to get through it. Holy damn, I think I just about done it. I just about did it. We've only got one charioteer who's finally dead. Praise the sun. I finally did it. That was ridiculous. Now, I will have done a little bit just before that, and I just sort of jumped into another battle. That previous attempt before this one, I screwed it up, they went right through it and killed everything. But that time, we finally, with some micromanagement, defeated the Hyksos. With pretty much wiped out forces. But this time, they're not running all over the map trying to kill my troops away from the towers. Right, I'm going to save, and I'll come back in once we're asked to send waterborne troops, because I know that's going to come up very soon. Okay, so we're getting asked to send some troops. Your city has been attacked by a Hyksos army, and now Idjatoi, an Egyptian city, is under attack and needs your help. We've only got 3 months to dispatch troops, which is not much time. Let's see. Small waterborne force. Now, we do have 2 warships prepared. With the money that I had, I would never have been able to build another one. So let's just send off 2 of those. And they should be fine at that little thing there. Once they are back, I'm going to delete all of this because we do not need warships on this map. There's so little coast space, and there's really no point developing this side of now because, in fact, I'm going to let you into a little secret. The only attack that you have to worry about is that one I've just went through. Every other attack on this mission comes from that side of the Nile, where there's nothing. So there's a little bit of rock, which we don't need, and there's a little bit of meadowland and a small amount of floodplain, but we have all this on this side. We really don't need to cross the Nile, so I only set this up in case I needed a 3rd warship, but I will keep an eye on this. If they fail, I will reload, build this quickly, go into debt for whatever it's worth, and send off 3 warships, which should do the job. So I'll come back in once our warships are back. Oh, our troops are back from the war. Good. What did they do? Did they actually win? Oh, well, they lost. Why did they... Why was it that when I did this once before that the ship was destroyed? 2 and 1's only half destroyed. I don't understand that logic game, but we'll go with it. Fine, whatever. Let's just get rid of all that because that's just a waste. I have sorted out this block now because it needs to be sorted because now it needs to be the right... Unfortunately, it's going to send a load of debt, which is unfortunate. But that's just this level. It is constant debt on this level half the time until you get taxes. We are retraining our army, which is good, I suppose, but we're going to need more farms to make food because at this rate we're just going to enter another death spiral again, which is not going to be very useful. I'm not really sure what else I can do. I mean, I can only sell 1 item, which is not very good. But I'll think about it. I've sorted this block. Everything's going to be sorted for getting the city going, and I'll come back in once I've done it. Okay, so the troops have been returned, obviously, and because your troops capably dispatched to Fort Idjatoi has been saved from our enemies. Now, I did run time on just a little bit before I started this little segment, and I do know that we won't be able to sell enough beer, to get out of debt. What I'm going to do is now focus on evolving our housing, so we're going to put down this granary here, which is going to get chickpeas. In fact, I've just realised I put the recruiter in the wrong place. Let's say I just move that. We could just put it there for now. I'll move that later, but I'm going to have more farms set up, I think. But we should be able to sell enough beer to make money from our trade partner here. Now, we are going to put down more brewers, just temporarily. We're just going to put a line of them there. And I will extend this a bit just to make sure that we can just produce loads and loads of beer, because we could sell loads. We could sell 4,000 to Mednefer, we could sell 4,000 by a water trader to Idjatoy, and we can also sell 1,500 to Bubastis. So without any blessing we could sell 9,500 flasks of beer. If we get a trade boost which will increase this by 1 shield, that means we could sell over 10,000 flasks of beer a year if we can produce that amount. So we can make loads of beer, and it's going to be our primary export. Now we are going to expand our chickpea production because we need that. Now I don't think we need any more barley farms, so we're going to leave that as is. And we're just going to put down loads of these. Now I can't get another one down there, so I may move the roads around a little bit so I can have it that this is a this is the irrigation ditch here rather than on this side, because that's a farm basically waiting. Now I could actually have that there, just have it round the other way instead, but that's still a long route. So we can't get out of debt. I just need to produce more beer, which is going to be fine. And we are short by a load of workers, but I think we should be okay. Right, let's just turn off chickpeas for now. We can stockpile that in a yard and start to feed the people. So yeah, we're just going to recover our forts. They should all be fine. I've also, as you saw, I deleted all this stuff here. So yeah, we're just going to keep on going, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Well, this is interesting. Idjatoy's been saved for our enemies, and Idjatoy wants to give us 1,600 sheets of papyrus. So basically, free papyrus without having to do anything. So let's just put this yard down. I've just realised we have not put down any firehouse or architect's post here, so let's just do that. And yeah, so we'll get that papyrus. It means we won't have to import any for a while. We're actually going to sell off another bit of beer here. It's not going to get us out of debt because we have built a bunch of things, but we will get out of debt by the next year. What's our kingdom rating like? 46. We can take 1 debt anniversary and we should be fine because we will be able to sell off more beer. How much have we sold? 2,300. We should be able to produce a lot more very soon. Once all this barley's gone through the system, I will then sort out this bit of a mess and extend the block a bit and do all that kind of stuff. I may even move it up here. I'm not too sure, but I will just put it somewhere. There's that papyrus. There we go. No use for it right now, but we can make use of that later. Gods are happy, which is fine. And we just need to sort out our farms a little bit, because they are in a bit of a wrong location, and we could probably sort that by moving this over here and all that kind of stuff. Try to get this back to the way I had it in my first attempt that failed, and we should be fine. So yeah, just keep on going. I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Oh, what's this? We need to send more troops off somewhere. Alert your soldiers, for the Egyptian army is engaged in combat in the distant city of Roarte. It requires you to dispatch reinforcements there. Send troops to their aid in 9 months. Another small force. Now, we can probably do that with 4 of these, which is probably going to be perfectly fine. I'm going to let that run a bit, just in case I get some more money. I have rearranged all of this, so when I got the road down this bit. These aren't connected to anything, by the way. Not now, in any case. And I've put this road here and then the road there, so this means that I can have everything set up the way I want it. Now, unfortunately, because of the way this is placed, I can't get an irrigation ditch through there. I could just forego it, because this is going to be deleted anyway, and moved to another location, most likely just down here, because I'm going to have a little bit of housing down here, just to staff this, because this is so long that they will never get up to any of these houses. Making barley again, because our unemployment was just sky high. And that's going to help, because these are now waiting for additional barley. So we should get enough barley from like 10 of these, so it shouldn't be a problem. Food won't happen. Once I've made some more money, I'll just turn on the... In fact, you know what? Let's just turn on chickpeas. None of these will get access. We're only going to make a very small amount of chickpeas, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I'll just send off those troops to Roarte when I'm ready to, near the end of the time. And I'll come back in once I've succeeded. Oh, our troops are back from the war. That's perfect. How many did we lose? 2 at each, basically. So that's not a problem. We can do that. We are still in debt, which is not very useful. But I think we can get out of it if we just keep selling beer. In fact, what I'm going to do, just for a bit, I'm going to turn off beer. We don't need to. We need to stockpile it before we can do anything, and there's no point trying to get out of debt by selling small amounts of beer. We do need to get out of debt. Now, we can afford one debt anniversary, which will plummet our kingdom rating a bit, but we'll be able to get out of debt after that. We do have all of these farms working because of this house, which is going to be useful, and I also went ahead and put down a bit of a shrine wall just to evolve some of the housing. It would also give us some workers. We are short so many. It's a little extreme, but we do need to stockpile beer for a bit before we can sell it. We've got too many people that buy it now. We've only sold, what is that, 900 over the year? Not too useful. I've got a tower here which is going to deal with the crocodile that's right here, and the troops helped win the day at Roarte, and we've conquered them. So we've driven the Hyksos out, we've done that bit. So Roarte will probably trade with us at some point, so we've pushed them out, and now we're going to try and hold them at Sharuhin. So we may be asked to send troops there, but for now we just need to get out of debt, and I'll come back in once if any more requests come in. Oh, would you look at that? Because the foreign city of Roarte has been subjugated by our troops, we can now trade with them. I didn't see that, I just missed it, but that's okay. So what they sell us meat, not worth it, because that's the only food type that's additional to the chickpeas that we've got. They sell bricks, loads of pottery, a bit of papyrus, and they buy something we can't make. Unless I set up a mana, which I most likely will, I'm not going to trade with Roarte, because they only sell papyrus. I can get enough papyrus from all my other trade routes. Yeah, I can get like, what's this? 5,500 sheets of papyrus, and that would just be another 2,500, so I would get 8,000 out of 4 trade piles. It's a little extreme because I don't need that much, because we've already got a little stockpile here. Now we have stockpiled a shit ton of beer. I did end up setting a priority to industry and commerce, just to get this beer flowing. So we're now going to sell a load of it and get out of debt, finally. So yeah, we have defeated the main part of this mission, which is to drive the Hyksos out. There's not going to be too much on this mission now. It's really just city building from here on out. We just recovered our forces, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. There we go, we've got a debt anniversary. Plummets our kingdom rating, but we won't be having any more of that because we'll have plenty of money next year. Well, this isn't too good. A new trade route to Roarte has become available, and presumably because of that, the Hyksos are going to attack in 6 months. Now, you may remember that I did mention that we don't have to worry about any more invasions. I will show this invasion, but then I won't show any more. I just ignore that. I'm bringing all this papyrus out of here because I need to delete this little thing here so I can set up all these chickpea farms. We're going to have loads of it. We are short by way too many workers. We do need to put down possibly another housing block down here. But we do have money. That's the main thing. In fact, what I'm going to do is just spend some money and put down a 5th Archers Company. I may delete all of this because we don't need this anymore. But I'm going to leave it there until all requests have passed that I know of. And then we will get on to the other parts of the mission. So we do have a Hyksos army on our way. I don't think it's going to be too difficult. I might actually just to sort this a little bit of a mess because that doesn't look realistic. I may just move all of this up now that I've sacrificed one of those. But we have got loads of chickpeas coming in. We can actually just delete that once he's dropped off. He's on his way back. Right, delete that. And now we can just put up irrigation around like that. Irrigate all these farms. I mean, even this one right here is 84% fertile. I mean, if you look down here, there are 2 farms right next to each other with exactly 99% fertility, which is extreme. Now we have the money. I don't need to worry too much about the export. In fact, I can just right now turn off barley. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up another house block. I'm also going to try and get this one fully evolved into rough cottages, and I'll come back in when we're near that invasion of Hyksos. Okay, so that invasion is going to be here in 1 month bent on conquest. Now, I hope to God it doesn't attack from somewhere that is currently undefendable. I'm going to just move my troops up to the north, just in case I'm wrong. I have been wrong several times in the past, and I don't want to be wrong this time. So I'm going to move all my troops up here, and see if they come from up here. If they don't come from here, I'm just going to send them back and ignore the invasion. What I'm doing here is also set up another little housing area. We are going to need more people. Because we're not producing enough chickpeas to get all of this up, but we should be able to produce just enough to get all these nice and stable. But I am going to put out another house build. Now, because of where the grasslands are, I'm not going to be able... Well, actually, I can get that in there. That's actually fine. I don't need to worry. So let's just do that. Foreign army invades. From the opposite bank of the Nile, like I said. So we don't have to worry about that invasion. There's a number of them there. It's quite a large invasion, but we do not need to worry about them because there's no reason to go over there. There's a bit of farmland, some rock, but there's more than enough on this left-hand side that we don't need to cross the Nile. So I'm just going to ignore that invasion. And yeah, we could just have the pleasure of sending everyone back home. We don't need them. We're completely safe by the fact that they are on the other side of the Nile, but that is a much larger invasion I would never be able to defend against. I mean, it's taken us all this time to get 5,000, there's no way I would have been able to afford importing anything. So yeah, we're safe, we don't need to worry, and pretty much every invasion after this is from here, so we don't need to worry about any more of them. I'm not going to show them because there's no point. So yeah, let's just get on with city building, and I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Okay, so another distant battle. Your city has been attacked by a Hyksos army, and now the Egyptian army is engaged in combat in the distant city of Sajuuk and requires you to dispatch reinforcements or send troops to their aid within 13 months. So Sajuuk is here. So we've pushed them out, and now we've got to build a fort and attack there. So what kind of attack have we got? An average force in 12 months. We're going to have all archers that we're going to send. We're going to send nothing but archers. I know they're not academy trained, but I really don't care. 96 archers should be more than enough to defeat a distant battle at Sajuuk. If it doesn't, then that'll be really annoying, but I think we should be okay. We are short on beer, that is because we did have no barley for a while, but that's okay. Unemployment's getting up there because I put down this other block. We've got plenty of unemployment now. We just need to let the barley sort of build up and then work on mission goals. That's all we have to do. And then I think what I'm going to have is, simply because of the fact that unemployment is so out of control on this map, we are going to have a manors area just down here. I think we'll have 3 common blocks along the top here, and then a secluded little area for manors. We are going to need them, and we have to import luxury goods anyway. I mean, we've got to import 2,000 to support the monument provisions, so we might as well distribute them as well. But it is going to be expensive. Here's our chickpea harvest. We'll keep this block stable, then we'll focus on this one. We've got rid of some of the unemployment issues. So I'll come back in once our troops have saved the day at Sajuuk. And I think we have now defeated the military aspect of this mission. Because your troops helped win the day at Sajuuk, Egypt has successfully conquered the renowned city of Sajuuk. So basically what we've done is we've attacked Roarte, pushed the Hyksos out, and we have now conquered Sajuuk, which is keeping them out of Egypt. So now all we have to do is meet the goals, which is going to be fairly simplistic. Culture, we don't even need to do too much to get that. Prosperity is going to be quite hard to get because we need 6,000 people, but pretty high prosperity, so we are going to need to evolve our housing quite a bit. And kingdom rating is also very high. The only thing for the monument is just these, so we can do that at any time. But we are going to have to sort of slowly evolve the city without going too high, because otherwise unemployment is going to go way out of control. What I have done is put down the palace and set up some taxation. We're going to start taxing people. And now that we've got Sajuuk conquered, we're now going to put down a yard here to accept clay, rather. We're going to import clay from Sajuuk, and we can also import some copper from there as well and make the weapons required. Let's see, where's clay? It's up here. We're going to import to maintain 1,200 clay. And we're just going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put down loads of potters, and we're just going to make all our pottery ourselves. And of course we can expand with additional potters just around the outside here, it'll be fine. So yeah, the military aspect's done. We just need to stockpile a load of more beer. I'm going to have to extend this a bit more. Now given that they don't have to go up there, it's going to be fine. I can extend this load to any length I want. And what? Because the forest city of Sajuuk has been subjugated by our troops, Egypt wants to give me 64 blocks of limestone. What on earth do I need limestone for? I don't need to build a monument because it's already there. On what earth do we need the limestone for? I'm going to accept it because it may actually do have some use or set off a set of events. So let's just put down 2 yards here set to accept limestone that we don't need. But we're going to accept it anyway because we are typical hoarders. And yeah, I'll just accept that we are short like a load of employees all of a sudden. That's because of putting down this. What we can't do is just solve that by putting down this bazaar and start to provide chickpeas to another block. I'm also going to make sure meat's not here, because as you can tell there's only one food source. It's just chickpeas and imported meat, so we cannot allow these heads to go above common reses because there's no way we can support them. Let's just do plaza there. Plaza there, just keep everyone out. Our money's dwindling yet again because we are needing to export beer, but we don't have any beer being made, which is okay. Let's accept that completely worthless gift of limestone that I will delete later. But yeah, archers are back, they're fine. We'll just have to get people into the city. We are short by a bit, but once all this housing evolves, we should be fine. So yeah, I'll come back in if anything of interest happens. Well, here's an interesting gift, because the Egyptians always help their fellow countrymen. Never seen that reason before. But Bassus wants to give me 2,000 pottery. Well, we can accept that, because it's at least useful. It means we don't have to waste too much time with this. We are selling beer again. Trying to just sell out as much as we can. I mean, I'm going to check at the end of the year how much was sold and see if we're maxing it out. I don't think we are, but that's okay. Start to evolve this block just to get it up to give us more workers, because we are going to need to put down a lot more chickpea farms. We have more than enough barley, that's no longer a concern. I just need to keep extending this every so often, and then we should be fine. I think we can extend it straight up to here, and then we should be okay. 2,000 people, we're a third of the way there. We do need to keep selling beer. I mean, we could sell so much beer on this map. It's a little extreme that our profits are basically a single export, but if we can get taxes going, we should be able to make more money. So yeah, we're through the invasions, we're through all of that stuff to do with the story. We just need to build the city now. Okay, so I've been running time on pretty much the entire time just to try and make money. We are just slowly evolving our houses to get more people, and we're just doing that in stages rather than just doing hyper evolutions, because there's no need to do that. We are now making linen. I've got 4 flax fields on the floodplain. This is the only thing I ever put on the floodplain on this map. Largely because it doesn't matter how much we grow, because it's only going to be used in the city. It's only for one housing block, which is going to be for our manors area, and then a few mortuaries scattered throughout the city for culture. So we really don't need a huge amount of flax production. So 4 of these should be more enough, and we've got a musician spawning randomly there. We've got all of the entertainment provided, we just need more people. I'm probably going to have to evolve these blocks a bit more. We'll go up into the spacious apartment where we might need to start importing some papyrus, because we can do that. I've also gone ahead and opened up the trade route to Egypt. We just cannot sell any more beer. I mean, we sold 1,500 to Bubastis, and this is the mid of the year, by the way. We sold 3,600 to Mennefer. We're just going to sell out the remainder of that. So there we go, we sold 4,000 there. And Egypt is about to buy another 700 from here. We just cannot sell any more beer. We are maxing this out to extreme levels. And we're not actually using it in the city yet. Once we start to use it, we may struggle to sell that amount. But we have sold nearly 10,000 flasks of beer in half of a year. It's a little extreme how much we can produce on this map. It is just because these farms are way too harvestable. We can see here we are actually starting to run out in places, but it's good timing because this is coming in. And what I might do is turn some of these farms like these ones into barley farms, and then just put more chickpeas down this end, which will probably work. But yeah, we cannot sell any more. We are maxing this out. There we go, we've just maxed it out, 4,400, so we sold basically 10,000. That's how much we can sell, and if we can keep up that production, we should be fine. So yeah, at this point, we can't do anything. It's all about city building from this point onward. We just need to keep on going, really. I can't really show anything. I'll come back in when we're probably going to start developing up our manor area, I think. Or unless something of importance happens. Okay, so the city's progressing quite well. We have set up the 3rd and final common housing block just at the end here. Now they should be able to get to this granary of chickpeas. If not, I'll just put down another granary down here. And set this up into a bit of a loop. We are selling so much beer that even this yard is not that full anymore. So we might just stop exports of beer for a little while. We make way too much. I mean, beer is literally the thing that's making us money. 14,000 a year. That's the only export, so that's pretty much the maximum you can do. But we are going to try and do some taxing. Now down here I have set up the block for where our manors are going to be. we can only import a single luxury good, so it's only going to be stately manors. But that should be more than enough to control unemployment in this city. We are going to try and just get as many people in as we can. I mean, we can, as soon as we evolve all this, it'll be fine. I'll just put down more houses as well. Just put down like so. And I've also gone ahead and put down another yard just to accept pottery. Since we're not exporting it, we might as well hoard it a bit more as well. Let's just see if we can get a statue in there. We can. Now, all of the luxury goods and things that we have to import from trade partners, so the luxury goods in this case, will be here, and then I'll use a getting yard to bring it down here. We're just going to make sure this doesn't burn. Because we're going to put down... what we're going to have is basically in this space where there's no farmland is going to be all the stuff needed to support our manors, which is going to be very useful because we are going to need it. We don't need to bring linen down here because it's literally there, but we can do everything else. Now we are going to just import... we are importing to maintain 2,000, but let's import to maintain 1 full yard because we can have it all up here and then all that kind of stuff. We are importing papyrus from 2 places, Bubastis and Idjatoi, but that's fine. They sell more than enough papyrus, it's not a concern. Yeah, we're producing more than enough chickpeas. I've moved all the chickpeas down here, and this is going to be mostly barley here. We can produce enough barley. I may have overdone it a little bit, but that's just because we needed to boost production. Let's just put down 2 more final breweries. And we should be fine. I can also put down a couple extra here if I need to, like 1, 2, 1, 2. I can stick down a couple of extras, which will help if needed. So yeah, I'm going to come back in once we're ready to support some stately manors. Okay, so the city's growing quite nicely now. We have 8 stately manors. And they're still filling up, they're just taking a little while. This one's just gone straight up to the top level very quickly. These were put down very recently. And our unemployment is still 9%, even with all of this. So, we're going to easily get through that marker, not too bothersome, even with this not fully evolved. The only problem now is I'm trying to get culture up. Kingdom rating is totally rock bottom. I'm going to have to put down a dynasty mansion and just accrue a shit ton of personal funds and give them to the city to get that up. I'm also putting down jugglers in various locations just to try and boost culture here and there. Just because we do need the culture up. We just need musicians now, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Actually, it's not a problem. Just put that there. And then a couple of musicians just at the end there. I don't think we're going to have too many problems. We might need a few mortuaries, so we don't have very many. So let's just put down 2 mortuaries, and that should be enough. We have plenty of papyrus. We're also importing the luxury goods. I'm just using a getting yard to bring it closer. We do need, just to increase that just a touch more, 2,000, because that's what we need in the city. But let's set this to 2,400, so there's enough for the city to keep going. This bazaar is doing nicely. It's just a little short on pottery, but they're doing fine because the luxury goods sit around for quite a while. And there's more than enough pottery coming. We didn't even need to import any bit of pottery. We're just making it from imported clay. We get enough. So just need more mortuaries, and I think we should be able to break through this 45 with any trouble. I've also gone ahead and put down the temple complex, so that's still not helping with our unemployment. It's actually going down a bit now, which is good. That's only because of culture stuff. But what we can do is just move this juggler school to there, and there's another booth right there. And I've also had a connecting road in here so that these guys can get across to this granary here, which is also supporting this block up here. It's not doing too badly. 45. Once these get access to mortuaries, they should be fine. So yeah, I'll just come back in. We're nearly the population target. Once we've hit 6,000 and the city looks stable, I'll come back in to finally conclude this mission. I'll also go and set up the other burial provisions as well, like weapons and all that. Okay, so the mission's pretty much over. We have 6,000 people. Our prosperity is off the charts, 100, because of the 8 manors. We've got our culture. It would go any higher than 70 anyway, so there's not much point in that. Population's met, culture's met, prosperity's met. All of these burial provisions are ready to be sent off, but we can't do that because we don't have kingdom ratings. So basically for 3 straight years, I need to just double this. 4 straight years rather. So I'll come back in once we have the kingdom rating met, because that's pretty much the only thing stopping me from sending off the burial provisions. Otherwise I'll have to deal with tomb robbers, which I don't want to do. And what a beautiful city Khmun turned out to be. 8 stately manors, 5 of them were actually completely, no, 6, 7, actually no, all of them are full. We've got 8 full stately manors. I don't know how much population that is, but that is a lot of people. It turned out really nicely, this city. All our farms over on the left hand side here, pretty much supporting the entire our beer industry. Probably the largest in Egypt. Like 20 brewers from 16 barley farms. It's an extreme amount. But it's fine. We've got more invasions incoming, but I don't care. Culture's there, prosperity's there, kingdom rating was there. Didn't take too long. Just almost continual gifts. Well, one every 12 months for the biggest effect and we were fine. Here's some burial provisions prepared earlier. 5 weapons from imported copper. 2,000 locally produced beer. A whole yard of linen. Locally produced, of course. Incense from afar. And papyrus that we got from our trade partners. This will tick up shortly. So we started here, and we just auto completed. So we started with our brewery industry, we just focused entirely on that, and self-defense. We didn't even build any chariots like the game suggested. But there you go, that was Khmun. It was a hairy start, but once you get through those invasions, and the tough bit of making money, visit the breeze of a mission. Let us proceed.
Egypt rejoices. The Hyksos have been expelled from our land, and under your leadership, Egypt is reclaimed.
It is indeed, we've reclaimed the land from the Hyksos. That was a bit of tense at the beginning. The start was pretty hairy, but overall we got through it quite well. 65 culture maxed out perspective just because we needed those manors. I mean, even with those manors, they were full, we still had some unemployment issues, so we did need them. Otherwise we'd have had like something like 25-30% unemployment. Kingdom rating was there. Funds were just went off the charts from the taxation and exports. And population of 6,500. Couldn't have probably got any higher than that without problems. 310 months is quite a while, but we did it on hard mode. Anyway, that was Khmun. Now the next choice mission is going to decide the finale. So if you want a militaristic end, click on the left hand card to head to Byblos. Or if you want a peaceful finale, where we're going to be building monuments, click on that right hand card to go to Baki. But for me, Sajuuk, that's going to be that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye now.